What's up everyone, Karue here, and today I'm going to teach you a shot that is going to help your game tremendously, which is the high heavy forehand down the line to your opponent's back and get them up here and cause a lot of pain on the other side. In this video I'm going to explain you why you should be using the shot more often, how to execute it properly and when to execute it, of course, and a few drills that will help you train it so you're feeling good next time you're on the court. All right, so let's talk about the shot for a second. I'm going to hit a few balls with Gustavo here and show you what I'm explaining right now, but the idea is changing directions, especially for amateurs, can be a little daunting, right? Like when to change it, like everyone overthinks it a little bit, and I think something that happens a lot, let's hit a couple, something that happens a lot with amateurs that they assume that hitting down, for them to hit down the line, they have to be very offensive, and he always has to look like that. That was that was so good. Now, yes, I wish you guys could hit I wish I could hit the ball like that every single time when I went down the line, but the reality is it's just not going to happen that often. I think the better players you get, the more they're going to push you back, the more they're going to create, you're going to have fewer opportunities to go down the line. But in tennis, dynamic sport, you want to be moving your opponent, not just like stay cross court, right? Like I know we love just hitting cross, but in a point, we don't want to go 2, 3, 4 times cross courts. We're going to have to change directions in tougher situations. And this high heavy ball allows you to go down the line a little bit more often. So let me show you here real quick. So if we're going cross court, I'm going to go cross once, and maybe I want to get out of this pattern. I can go there pretty safely. You see what an annoying shot that was for him to deal with. It was safe, it was high, it wasn't obviously, I wasn't babying that shot, but it allows me to do that all the time. I can be just hitting almost 1-and-1, right? I'm gonna go cross once, I'm gonna go from here. I'm gonna be a bit more offensive since it let me. Going down the line doesn't necessarily always has to be from an offensive position. The idea of learning the shot is for you to be able to do that more from a neutral position and actually from a defensive position, which we'll cover in a second. Throughout my career, I used this shot all the time. As a guy who prefers the backhand side, I don't want to be pinned down into the forehand side. So mastering this high heavy forehand down the line was super important for a few reasons. First reason is it allowed me to change to the down the line more often and safely without taking too much risk, but still with a very effective shot. Number two, it allows me to change to the down the line more often and get that pattern back to my backhand side, which is what I want. And number three, if I do hit that shot very effectively, high and heavy to the other side, I can pretty much predict that my opponent is going to hit to the cross court, right? It's a difficult ball to get there high onto your back and actually hit it back down the line, right? Most likely they're going to hit to the cross court, which allows me to be a step ahead and predict where the next ball is going, anticipate where the next ball is going, and be one step ahead of my opponent. So as you can see, if you master the shot, you can really control the rally to your liking, right? Like again, let's hit a couple here cross courts. You see, play it out. If I go down the line, play it out. Let's see. So I'm gonna go across here, and then if I just go down the line there, you see, like he's probably gonna have to go into the cross court, and see, he left that one pretty short. It's not an easy ball. If you're able to get it above your opponent's shoulder, that's going to be really helpful. All right, one more here. So see, pretty high there. Difficult shot. See, again, he left it short. Nice, good ball. Again, he left it short. So twice that I did it, was able to hit a quality shot above his back, and he left it short. So now that you know why you need to hit the shot, let me teach you how to execute it perfectly. And before we continue, as you can see, I draw a lot of my inspiration for these videos from my lessons, from my time on court, because it's during that time that I see a lot of the mistakes players are making. So we made a free guide highlighting 3 of the major mistakes I see amateurs making, and obviously how to correct them. So if you're sick of losing points you deserve to win, go to top3mistakes.com and download our free guide. Again, top3mistakes.com. Just put your email, download the free guide. It's going to help a lot. We put a lot of work into this, and I think you're gonna like it. And now let's go back to the video. All right, so before we go into some technical tips, let me just talk about like what are we looking for in this shot, right? So as I previously mentioned, this is not necessarily an offensive shot, right? If I find myself a little more closer to the baseline or inside the baseline, then I'm gonna be offensive. I'm gonna play through the court, I'm gonna try to hit the ball through the person with speed, right? But in this situation, we are a bit more further back, right? Like I'm a few feet behind the baseline, even super far back if that happens during the point. This is why I'm going to, from here, to play a little bit higher and heavier. Obviously, it's safer over the net, high part of the net. We all know that by going down the line. But in general, this high heavy ball we're playing from either neutral or defensive position. So in this situation here where we are neutral, the goal really is to get that ball above their shoulder, right? That's your goal. Like however you can figure that out, I'll cover some tips in a second, but however you can figure that out, right? Like we're hitting the balls here. Here we go. Hitting, I'm playing nice and deep. Again, deep. I'm far back here. I'm gonna get that thing above his shoulder. That's a difficult ball, and you see, it gives me an opportunity to actually step into the court. It's very difficult to manage that ball and hit it deep back to our side. We're gonna earn a lot of short balls, as you've seen so far, right? So again, I'm here. I'm a little bit far behind the baseline, nothing crazy. See, got pushed back. See, high and heavy there. Difficult ball. Great ball there. All right, so if I'm in a neutral position, the entire goal is to get above their shoulder. It doesn't have to be super fast. It doesn't have to be a super fast shot. Obviously, you don't want to baby it. But the idea is you move them to the forehand side. That backhand corner it's open. You're going to make them hit a ball not only moving, but maybe moving backwards with the high ball, right? So that's a tough combination. Heading there here, having to hit the ball back deep. It's complicated. And also this ball is not a winner, right? They're gonna get there. So there's no reason for you to be hitting too close to the line. Give yourself a big target, right? Like you hit a good ball into the cross here, maybe you move them and then a good ball. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a very nice. It doesn't have to be like a ball right into the line. You don't have to take an unnecessary risk. The main thing is getting the height. Even if that ball drifts a little bit more towards the middle, you should still be okay. So don't worry too much about like going too far into the corner. You don't need it. Now let me go over some technical tips. Now, I'm not gonna talk too much about your swing because your swing is different than mine. The way you hit the ball is different than the way I hit the ball. But in general, there are a couple things that you can be doing. Number one is making sure your swing path is a little bit more low to high, right? Like we're trying to hit the ball higher. We want that extra low to high. It's the only way to get that shape, right? So trying to get that ball a little bit more low to high. See it? So the ball here, I'm gonna really send that racket up, right? Number one. Number 2 and 3 is really properly using your legs and body, right? So obviously this is not too big of a shot, but you still want to like load up your legs and really explode forward and up. I think players try to hit this high and heavy ball, they end up doing a little bit more seated. They'll like go back up and they'll kind of I want to play high, and then they'll back up, they'll hit it falling backwards. It's not the way you want to do it. You still want to be offensive with your body, meaning you're pushing towards your target, even though you're not necessarily trying to create a lot of speed forward, right? Feed me, hit one here. You're still trying to just play a little bit more low to high, pushing towards the target. So again, low to high with the swing path, but the body's still moving towards your target using the legs appropriately. I prefer doing this on the open stance. As you can see, I think you're gonna be pushed towards your right side. You're gonna be hitting open stance if possible. I think it'll be easier than playing close stance and high. Close stance, if you're moving into the court, open stance back here. Number 4 is trying to actually utilize the pace a little bit, right? Because in this situation, you might not be hitting a ball that is just floating in the middle of the court. It might be a ball with a bunch of pace. So use that pace to redirect it down the line. Create the spin, right, to maintain control, but use the pace to send it. You don't have to do much as long as your body, your legs are in the right place, and obviously you're hitting that, trusting that low to high swing, right? So he's gonna attack me here a little bit, hit a bigger ball, hit it. There you go, again, a little bigger, go. That's it, and I can just use that pace. You see, I just used that pace and redirected. I barely did anything. Very short swing and just redirecting into the down the line. You can use pace. If you can use the pace, it's actually much easier to hit this ball. You don't have to do much. So let's just watch that one again. Rip it, here we go. Go and rip it. I stay low and I can just do that. That is a highly effective shot. right? So utilize the pace, but still accelerate through contact.